Hello, ladies. Nick and Jen here again, just jumping into your inbox. And as we said last week, if you haven't watched, maybe go back and search for that email. But over the next 5 weeks, before we chat with you ladies in the Wow Women webinar, we wanted to give you a head start, a fast track to be able to really recharge your own battery. Because one thing that Jen and I both know, and for the women that we work with, it is about being fully charged ourselves if we want every other area that's important to us, being our relationships, our career, our business, our finances, to really be maximized. We really need to take care of ourselves first. So over the next now 4-week countdown, we've got 4 more health principles that we are just going to give you in a really simple way that you can adapt and incorporate straight away for yourself, so that ideally when we chat to you in November, you're already feeling recharged yourself. So we believe and want every woman just to be the best version of herself. It is so important that women are showing up in that way, because when we do, we lead differently, we make decisions differently. We just have this bigger capacity of our confidence and our energy and our clarity. And one of the fastest ways to do that is to really make tweaks and make changes to our health. So, Jen, I'm going to hand it over to you to dive into principle number 2.
Thanks, Nick. And it's so true, isn't it? It's, most people have an inkling that they're just going about their day kind of on autopilot, and they're not feeling fully charged the whole time. And it kind of feels like, when you have a hangover, well, not like a full-on hangover, but just, it's like this really low-level hangover where you're just feeling a bit unmotivated, kind of don't really want to get off the couch, not in creative mode, not able to focus on that book that you're reading or that job that you're doing at work. It's harder to solve the problems, feeling a bit irritable, a bit edgy. The little things become bigger things. Memory, it's like, I can't quite grab that word, or I can't quite remember, when you're talking to someone and they're like, remember that time, and you're like, I don't remember that time as clearly as you. So just feeling less sharp. And how our clothes, when you put on your favorite jeans and you're just like, I just don't like this feeling. It's not as much fun to be like that as when you put them on and go, yeah, I feel good. And what that translates to is then losing our magnetism and our vibrancy, because we're just not feeling as good and as confident in our own skin. So in general, when we're feeling low on energy and low on clarity and low on confidence, we're not the best versions of ourselves. And I know that some of you know exactly what we mean. And some of you have been feeling this way for so long that you just are like, what? You mean maybe I don't know how good I'm supposed to feel? So Nick, back over to you.
Well, I think with that too, Jen, is when we get to that point where we're maybe feeling burnt out or exhausted, or we just know we're kind of operating at 50, 60%, we can reach for the quick, like the Band-Aid solutions, and we become that sucker, as we say, for the self-care kind of market and options. And the reality is, we as women, if we can get to the core of the problem, and if we can really work out how and be in control of recharging ourselves and knowing how we help ourselves operate at our best, that's really fixing the problem. And look, the quickest way to do it, the fastest way to do it, the most effective way to do it is changing what we really fuel our body with, what we put in our body, how we move our body, how we treat our body. And don't run away and don't click off, because we're not talking about, going on a starvation diet and just, having your bottle of spring water and your drop of lemon. We're not talking about that, because Jen and I, we love a bit of wine and cheese. So we're talking about how do we as women have it all fully recharged. And so last week we went through principle number 1. So hopefully you've started incorporating that yourself, or reached out to us for the, do it for you option. And Jen is going to dive into principle number 2, that is going to help you recharge yourself.
Yeah, right. So last week was protein pacing. This week, principle 2, we're talking about adaptogens. So some of you already will be familiar with that word. Others of you will be like, adaptogens, what the heck are those, and why on earth do we need them? So essentially, adaptogens are these beautiful little plant-based ingredients that assist our bodies to deal with stress. Now, let's talk about stress. The thing is, humans these days are typically more highly stressed. We're under chronic stress all of the time. Now, why is that? Well, most women are going to find that quite easy to explain, right? We're wearing all these hats. It feels like most days that someone different's pulling out each arm and each leg. Somebody always wants something from us, right? We're nurturers typically, so we try and get them all fixed up first. And you know, when your cortisol levels, which is your stress, the hormone that we produce more of when we're stressed, you know when that's a bit out of whack, because that's when we're starting to need a coffee to wake ourselves up, and a glass of wine or a G&T in the afternoon to wind ourselves down and help our brain turn off. And as Nick said, we become a bit of a sucker for thinking, oh my God, I need a massage. Or, oh my God, I need a facial. Or, oh my God, I need some me time, because we know something has to give or something is going to break. So the thing about adaptogens is we do need a whole bunch of them. And we do kind of need to know what they are and what they do. They have big, long, weird names that are really difficult to pronounce. And we need to know where to get them. But for me, that just feels like it's adding to my stress, and who's got time to learn all of that? So I'm a physio, not a dietitian. So Nick, we have a product range.
Yeah, we do. And as you're saying that, Jen, simple is my MO. I think it's your MO. It just, anything that we can make simple in our life, especially as women, when we're doing all the things that you spoke about, gets my tick 100%. So I don't have time to go around and research those big words and 20 different adaptogens at 20 different stores and try and do it all. But make sure either check in with your dietitian and they can really guide you with this to get the right adaptogens in your body. Or of course, email back, let us know. And we have the adaptogens inbuilt in the program that we use, which is dietitian created and checked, and just makes it so much easier. But ladies, implement this one, incorporate them into your body, because your body really will thank you. So we will see you ladies next week for week 3, where we're going to dive into the third health principle that's really going to help you fully recharge. And as we love and know makes a difference, really increase our capacity and your confidence in your energy and in your clarity. So we'll see you then.